We started this project with the firm belief that innovation could address all of the problems associated with smoking.
If we build a product that's better than cigarettes, that's one thing, and it's a great start. People want to move past cigarettes.
Juul, the world's most successful maker of electronic cigarettes.
So Juul revolutionized vaping.
As a matter of fact, it is called an iPhone of the e-cigarettes.
A triumph of technology that critics say helped spark a massive public health crisis.
After years of steady decline, youth nicotine use has suddenly reversed course, seemingly overnight.
Juul must be held to account for the epidemic it has created.
I don't think they were ever anti-tobacco. I think they were pro them making a lot of money.
They made billions because Juul succeeded where the tobacco industry couldn't. It made an old addiction new and cool and produced something even better than cigarettes at delivering nicotine.
Welcome to the laboratories where we do a lot of our preclinical aerosol testing.
For decades, tobacco companies have been spending millions trying to come up with a product that is less harmful than cigarettes. Here at British American Tobacco's largest research and development facility, they've adapted their machines to be able to test electronic cigarettes.
Well, obviously, there's a lot of investment being done here on what we call PRRPs, potentially reduced risk products. Our objective is to bring potentially less harmful products to consumers around the world.
The result is names like Vape, Glow, and Alto, some of the best-selling next-generation products out there. But of the dozens of e-cigarettes now on the market, none comes close to matching the market share of Juul. So how did they do it? The story of Juul begins with two Stanford University students, both smokers wanting to quit. James Monsees and Adam Bowen were looking for a way to get a nicotine fix without sucking carcinogens from a cigarette. But nicotine tastes awful, it's bitter and burns the throat. Juul found a way to make high doses of nicotine palatable.
So before Juul, typically an e-cigarette had 1 or 2% nicotine, and if it had 3%, it was for, the 2-pack-a-day smoker. Juul's nicotine is 3 times more concentrated.
Dr. Jackler, you have 5 minutes.
Robert Jackler was one of the first to sound an alarm, testifying before U.S. Congress about what he called a new nicotine arms race, where the most powerful weapon looked anything but.
It's small and rectangular, and it looks like a USB flash drive. So if it's left on the bedside table of a teenager, a parent wouldn't recognize it as a vaping device.
Then there was Juul's advertising, featuring a host of young-looking models. Multiple studies found Juul's ads and online presence appealed to young people. Economist Jidong Huang published a paper on what he called Juul's youth-oriented marketing, including a social media campaign he says led directly to increased sales.
Well, Juul has always claimed that their targeted audience is the adult smokers. But based on their marketing and the content of marketing and where they marketed their products, I don't believe what they claim is consistent with their actual marketing practices.
With critics slamming the company and pressure from regulators mounting, Juul responded. It stopped using almost all social media. It dropped flavors, although only in the US. And it announced it would spend $30 million to help prevent youth from using its products. Many of those changes came as the company's explosive growth was about to hit a new level. By 2018, Juul had gone from virtual unknown to the largest retail e-cigarette brand in the US in just 3 years. At one point, Juul had more than 70% of the market. Last year, Altria, one of the world's largest tobacco companies, paid nearly $13 billion for a 35% stake in Juul. Juul was suddenly more valuable than Ford. A value financial analyst, Ian Butler, says is based on a growth rate that comes not from attracting adult smokers, but new users.
It can't just be people switching.
Can't. Not for the valuation paid. No way. They're not only basing that on sort of capturing former Altria customers, so to speak.
This past summer, thousands of students protested outside Juul's offices across the U.S.
They are really angry.
The Truth Initiative, a nonprofit anti-tobacco organization, helped organize the protests.
Without Juul, we wouldn't have the epidemic we have now. They knew kids were using it. They knew that their marketing strategy was geared toward kids. They knew the product was so addictive that people would get hooked and couldn't get off of it, and they did it anyway. And why did they do it? To make a buck. Yeah, I put a lot of blame at their feet.
Juul insists its products are meant for adult smokers, not minors and non-smokers. It says the company's goal was to eliminate cigarettes. But Juul is now facing lawsuits from school boards, cities, and state governments.
And Juul violated New York state law by repeatedly targeting teenagers.
There are calls for an outright ban on vaping. A third of Juul's value has gone up in smoke. It's now worth only $24 billion, or a little more than Twitter. Aaron Saltzman, CBC News, Toronto.